You needed it.
Chickens you used to steal,
I don't steal no more.
rabbits you used to shoot.
I don't shoot no more. Down you used to chase. I don't chase no more.
Get ready, brother. Your time has come. Stand up, you sinner. We got you at last. You can't get away. There's no time for your finish is going to be fast. Brothers and sisters, come on, get hot. We'll amputate your bodogio and tie your bones in a knot. Bid it down. Did it down. Did it down. Bip it up down. Did it down. Brother, you sure gonna get your face lifted and a permanent shave. Ha, ha, ha. old room, till we picked up new. Swing you sinner, for making chicken salute. You're at the end of your rope, so just give up all hope. Swing you sinner. We'll stretch you like a giraffe, maybe what you would have. Just give us a laugh. Swing you sinner.
And a one fish, two fish. And a one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. And a one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. Alright, Twitch sounds okay. Let's check YouTube. And a red fish, blue fish. Alright, Twitch sounds okay. Let's check YouTube. Alright, Twitch sounds okay. Let's check YouTube. YouTube is a go. Alright. We're texturing tonight. Alright, Twitch sounds. Let's get that shut down. You can go away. We started this outfit. Actually, I started it before last, but we kind of got most of the Marvelous Designer parts of it done. I did a little more work on it today, and we're just about ready to texture it. So we're going to do a couple of things in DAZ. We're going to assign out a bunch of colors to each of the different material zones. Yo, Rod Shelley, trick or treat, smell my feet. Give me some Gouda to eat. There you go. How you doing, buddy? Do I have anything to drink? I got nothing to drink. Damn it. Oh, my cans is empty. Oh, my cans are empty. Uh-oh. We're waiting for Daz to kick up. We're going to texture an outfit today. Substance Painter is fired up and ready in the background. Here's how the outfit is coming along. I got him set up. I have to probably touch up the rigging a little bit. Although it is going to be D-Force, so I don't have to worry too much about it. But right now we're going to assign material zones to colors to all the surfaces. Take it over to Blender. Doing good. Had a doctor visit today for your throat and sinuses. Oh, looks good. Oh, excellent. Do a little bit of touch up in Blender, and then get it into Substance and start getting some textures going here. So that's what we're up to. And I'm thinking, all right, let's get the textures. Let's get the coloring on here. Let's do a couple of things in here. Let's turn the mesh smoothing off, and let's turn the resolution down to base. There we go. All right, let's assign a different color to all the materials. At some point, I'm going to chop this outfit up into a bunch of different parts. Shin bands, thigh bands, a bottom. I think I might end up with 4 versions of the top, a headband, armbands, and bracers. But right now it's all in one piece because it makes it faster to work with that way. Anyhow, let's go over here. I'm going to rename these right off the bat. This is the Arden outfit, so we're going to use AO on here. So let's browse to file location. Let's select all of these and rename them. We're going to change the name DO to AO, 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 AO. There we go. All good. All right, back over to here. You know what? This also shouldn't say DL anymore. I'm going to rename you to be AO. All right, in the materials, we don't have anything. Oh, shaders. That's right. I'm going to use my handy dandy shaders to assign colors. So we'll just run through here real quick. Select and color, select and color, select and color. Until we have a different color for everything. Some of my colors are pretty close, so occasionally I might skip one. because that orange and dark orange are pretty close. Brown and dark brown, not too bad. Light yellow. Yellow and gold are pretty close. I tend to skip gold. Olive. Dark olive. Lime green. Snowy mint. Green. Dark green and pale turquoise. There we go. All right, we're all ready to export, I think. What are you? You are the skirt trim. Did I not get the skirt trim a color? Oops. There we go. Now we're ready to export. So let's hit the export button. Let's put you over here in... I'm actually putting this into a fantasy folder. Maybe I'll do some fantasy outfits. We'll see. There's Arden. There's the whip folder. Let's do this. New folder. More. But that's not the one I want right now. What I want is a substance folder. New folder substance, where I'll put my substance painter stuff. We're going to save you into there. Arden outfit. Let's do that. And this looks all good. All right, now let's open that up with Blender. I understand 5 might be in beta, but I'm still using the 4.5. So activate import. Projects. Are you in here anywhere? Nope. Let's sort by name. Fantasy, Arden, Whip, Substance. We'll open that up. We're going to do a couple of things. First, we're going to shade smooth, because that actually does make a difference. Then we're going to separate the skirt off the rest of the bottom. Am I missing? Ruh-roh. Is that unsewn back there this whole time? Oh no. Oh no. Is that done the same? Is that the same problem on the other one? I knew I should have hid that skirt. I can still texture it. It just means I have a minor disaster. Although not that you can actually see it. Um Means I'll have to touch up all these morphs I just did today. Oh no! And it's probably broken the other one as well. Because that's the way things work. But I have a here, let me try something. We're going to try to fix this in Substance real quick. Or Marvelous Designer. And then whenever I do to this one, I'll have to do to the Genesis 9 version, which will have the same problem. Because obviously if I screw one part up, I've screwed it all up. File open. Story of my life. Everything was going so well. And now I'm going to lose a few hours. Damn it. Open project. Let's take that one there. And my problem is I heard a noise. That wasn't the actual problem, but I did hear a noise. Sounds like a resub or something. Is that what happened? Are you saying anything? I don't. Yo, Dr. DK in the house. Thanks for that resub, Dan. Appreciate that, man. Okay, so what happened is I don't have a one of these isn't sewn. Oh no. I have to sew this. I'm gonna sew that. I guess to that. Happy Thursday. Yes. Good to see you too. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna deactivate and hide this for a second because I totally did something wrong. So let's deactivate sewing, Shift Q. Let's freeze everything except for the one part. 2 parts. We're going to unfreeze 2 parts here. I'm going to do that. I'm going to stop that. I'm going to unfreeze. Freeze that and stiffen it and do this. Probably good. I think I might be able to live with that. All right, now let's see if I can do some strange magic here. Stop that, do this, activate everything, make everything visible, re-export it. Export OBJ selected. I'm gonna overwrite this, but we'll call it O2 because I have made a boo-boo. I think that's okay. All right, let's come over here. Let's re-import. That one right there. All right, that's looking good. That's looking good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the transfer tool to transfer this stuff to this rigging to that. And then I think I can get all the morphs transferred over. So let's do that. Bump that. I'm going to see if this is broken. I'm really doing texturing today, but I broke my dress, so I have to fix it. I'm going to fix it real quick here. So I'm going to take you. We're going to take you, and I'm going to accept that, and should be good. And then I'm just going to open up. Actually, I'm going to go through here, and we're going to run through all the morphs in the favorites. So I'm just going to and what this will do, this will generate them all in the new clothes. And this is what I spent. I don't know, maybe I spent 45 minutes doing this part. I didn't need to hit height. What did I hit height? What the hell? I think I'm good. All right. Now I'm going to go over into here and run all the adjustment morphs. Get those to auto-generate in the new piece of clothes. I'm losing track where I am. I got to pay more attention. I should have saved the other one first. Let's see how this goes. I might have to save twice, and I'm losing track of where I am again. I think I'm fine. Let's see, did I get all those morphs in here? I think I did. It looks like it. It's moving. All right, let's save you out. I'm going to save you next to the original one. O2. Oh, you got all sorts of garbage names, so I'm going to have to fix the material names for this later. You're part of the Arden outfit. You are, it doesn't make any difference. And I'm going to accept that. And then let's see, can I do this? I think let's double check and see what we've got in the data folder. This is in fantasy, so I'm going to go down to fantasy. I'm going to come here, go to the data folder, look over here in the Arden outfit. There's the one I just saved. There's my morphs. Those all... It looks like I got morphs in there. I think this is good. I'll clean up the surface names later. Right now they're garbage. Or they have a bunch of garbage. Also, I have to reassign the headband. But I think I'm okay for now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to clean this one up and then save it out. So a little more work in Daz still. I wish Marvelous Designer wouldn't add this garbage to the fabric names when you export. There's probably some sort of internal logic for it, but it does me no good. Yo, Lund, how are you doing? Thanks. I had a minor disaster. The back of the bottom wasn't all sewed up, so I'm trying to fix that real quick. I think this will work. And then we're going to get to texturing. So the idea was to texture this today. And then I realized I screwed something up, which is the story of half my life. No project goes by that I don't screw something up and have to redo things. Even then, I'm making pretty good time at getting products released. I did get the outfit I was working on, the cinnamon outfit has got submitted to Daz yesterday. Then I worked on this a little bit. Doing well now that the Jays are up 3-2 in the World Series. Ah. And they're going back to Toronto, right? And they won the first two in Toronto, so that bodes well for the Jays. All right, we're good. Actually, I need to still do this headband. So we're going to select that, and I'm going to make a new surface. And you're going to be a headband. Did I make the? I did. Okay. Last two games in Toronto, chance on it. And what? So they played last night. Toronto won, and the way it used to be is then they would take it just a day off, right, for the for baseball, and then they're it's a travel day, so they go to Toronto, and then they play the last two games in Toronto. Well, and you're hoping it's just one more, but it might go to a seventh game. I vaguely remember how the World Series used to work. I know sports likes to change things to try to drag things out and try to eke more money out of things. I think the NBA does that, right? When they get in the finals, it's like they play a game, then they take a day off and go to the other place, play a game, take a day off, go back. It feels like it just takes forever for the NBA finals. But if I remember baseball, it's two day off, three, then a day off, and then the last two if needed. All right, I'm going to select that loop. We're going to assign you to a new material. That's going to be headband trim. And accept that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide that so I can kind of see what I'm doing. Oh, that's true. I heard about that. What is it, like an 18 inning game? They were running out of pitchers. I have an item in here. I'm going to hide the other outfit so it's a little easier to see what I'm doing here. And then we'll just do a loop select with that. Geometry selection, select loop. I'm going to assign that. We'll hide that. I'm going to come over here and do the same thing. Geometry selection, loop, and assign, and hide so I can see where I'm going. Do the same thing here. Loop select. There's a shortcut key for that, but I can't remember. I would just get it confused with what Blender is. That's right. It's going to be an 8-game series. All right. Oh, you need to be assigned to the as well. And we got one more little wayward. All right, we're good. That's true. Could have more extra innings. All right, we're gonna do a couple of things. Do I have subdivision on this? Did that come? I don't think I have subdivision. Mass resolution currently based, and we don't have sub D, so I don't have to worry about that just yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and assign colors to these. We're gonna save that out, and I'm gonna use that for my texturing. And we got to pop it over in the blender real quick to make a couple of little tweaks before we send it to Substance Painter. I heard a noise. Yo, Plobby. No, no, Marlu, Maulior, something like that. I apologize. Thank you for the raid. And Plobby, welcome in. I appreciate that. Royals didn't make it. Sorry, Rod. I have not been following baseball for years. I sort of rooted for the Giants, but I've never been a big baseball fan. But that's because I lived in NorCal for a while, so it's like I would Giants or the A's would have been the teams I root for. And since I live in New York, I guess I would root for the Mets. And yet, not to the Yankees. Yankees have won enough. Yankees don't need to ever win again. Joe watched it more than you. Oh, that's true. Joe's the big sports fan in the family, isn't it? Super Lucio, welcome in. Thank you. Oh, and real quick, I'm working on an outfit for Dad's studio. This was created a Marvelous Designer, and I'm getting ready to texture it up in Substance Painter. And I screwed up the mesh, so I'm trying to fix it real quick. The back of the panty wasn't actually sewn in. Yes, I work on outfits, which then go on sale at Daz, and actually helps pay the mortgage. And Rafed Alwani, welcome in. I appreciate that. Oh, and you're on YouTube. Welcome, YouTube. I'm not used to seeing YouTube. At least I think you're on YouTube, or I'm reading that wrong. And thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to export this out for Substance. We're going to double check it in Blender. Then I'm going to make a couple little things. I want to separate the skirt off from the rest of it because I don't want the AO occluding the bottom of the panties, which is where I realized I had an issue. So I think we're ready to, in here, make sure I have this selected, hit the export button. I'm going to overwrite that. Yep, we're going to overwrite you, accept. I'm going to do a couple little things in here and just save this real quick so I don't lose it. We're going to add some subdivision to it, convert to sub D, and we're going to add our smoothing modifier to that. And now I'm just going to save this again as a figure prop asset back here. I will eventually break this outfit apart into a bunch of little pieces. But for right now, this is you know what? I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to fit you to the main figure. Let's do that. Mish, we're going to have you fit to Genesis 8 here. Nope, I'm going to cancel that. Before I do that, I'm going to make a little change here. Editing, scene identifier. Down here, I'm going to tell it that it wants to be friends with Genesis 8. Yes, you do. There we go. Genesis 8 female, or actually Genesis 8, then we say female. That's the proper way. Art makes sense. Art! How are you doing? Good to see you, buddy. How was the Philippines? Or am I allowed to talk about that? Sorry. Or are you still in the Philippines? I think we're good. I think we're good. I'm going to accept that. Now I'm going to fit you to Genesis 8 and accept that. And now it thinks it belongs, so it's not whining about things. Oh, I have to adjust these bands again. Oh, well. The Pines was nice and rainy. Okay. Well, it's good to see you. All right, now I'm going to save you as a figure prop asset so I don't lose all this work I've just done. And you are in the Arden outfit. I am the vendor. This is all good now. I'm happy with how it's looking. All right, I've exported it out. I've saved it. I'm going to put Daz away for a little bit. I'm going to hit save on this and close Marvelous Designer because I think I've got it fixed. We're going to come back into here. It's a little wonky. That's okay. That's the way Real Close works. All right, now we're going to re-import, hopefully, what is a fixed version. Okay, I've got a little bit of weird overlap there. I'm going to fix that later on. Note to self, fix that. Okay. And then I'll update the geometry and DAS. But for right now, one of the things I got to do is we'll put a smoothing modifier on there, because Substance Painter actually does pay attention to that, the smoothing. I'm going to separate the skirt off the rest of it. So we're going to come in here, come down here. We are still looking. Did I not save you? Oh, I know. It got confused because there's another copy of it with the same material names. So Daz exported it with extra garbage on it because, why not? Everybody loves the extra garbage. Okay, now I'm going to separate that off. Actually, I'm going to go into, there we go, face mode, separate selection. And then I'm just going to put that over there so when I bake, it doesn't occlude the bottoms. The Explorer Edge Cloud thing took away all your passwords, so you happen to write down, oh man, that's kind of annoying. Does Daz allow some modifications? Daz does kind of, but if you're real modifications, I do in Blender or ZBrush. There are stupid tricks you can do in Daz, but it's one of those things that's like there's better ways to do it. And sometimes people will do things like that just to say, oh, I did this in Daz. I've seen people do things like that in programs before, but honestly, often there's like a better way to do it. Like texturing in Substance instead of trying to do it in Blender. I guess you could texture in Blender, and if you're a Blender superstar, you probably would, but I find Substance so easy to work with. All right, that's what's going to go to Substance, so we're going to export this out again. I have to export it twice for Substance because Substance is goofy that way. Substance will punish you if you have multiple materials in an object. I think it still does that. I haven't seen anything that says they fixed it since I started. I'm going to use my DAS preset. We're going to save this with materials. And I'm going to come over here. I love this recents in. I know you're always learning stuff, but the ability to just drag and drop complex shader sets onto an object is just so powerful. And I guess you can do that with other programs, but I don't know. I got in this. I was starting to play around with that sort of stuff in Blender and picked up Substance, and that was it. I've been using Substance for texturing ever since because I'm just too lazy to learn something else now. All right, so I'm going to overwrite that, and then we're going to do this once more. Layer stack and brushes, like curve brushes. Yeah, I wish the path tool worked in the 2D view. I do wish that. But the path tool is better than no path tool. All right, and you're going to be no materials because this is going to be the version where we're going to save it without materials. So we'll turn off materials, export that. That's the one that actually gets imported into Substance. All right, now we're ready for Substance. Here we go, file, new. All right, we're going to get that version we made with no materials. Arden outfit with, there's my Substance folder, and there's the one we just saved with no materials. So I'm going to grab that, hold our breath, and hope that everything goes right. I think I just exported out only the skirt. Damn it. Let's try this again. All right, there's the no material version. There's the material version. All right. Anyhow, off to bed. Wishing. Yeah, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. There's a dyslexic heart. And have a good sleep. All right, I'm gonna redo this. I'm just gonna say file new, and we're just gonna bring in the. Hopefully, it's the good version now. And say okay to that. Discard this. There we go. That's what I was expecting. All right, now we'll just bake our mesh maps. Activate bake selected textures. I'm baking normal, world space normal, ambient occlusion, curvature, and position because those are the ones I typically use. I'm also going to do an ID map, but I'm going to do that separately because it uses different settings. So we'll do little, and I've got nothing to drink. As we impatiently wait for this to bake. I think it's this curvature map that takes the most time. There we go. All right, uncheck all of these. Check the ID map. All right, so for the ID map, I want to do that at 4K instead of 2K. We're going to bring in that version with the materials. It has colors on it. I'm going to make these cages really small so I get better resolution on the ID map. And then I'm going to bake that. It should be good. I think I'm done. Let's go back to painting. I'm going to export out that ID map right off the bat. Actually, I'm going to save this first. Save as. You're going to be Arden outfit. There we go. All right, now I'm going to save that ID map out. Export textures. I have a preset for that, so I'm going to go over here and grab that. One of these is, there it is, Cox ID. 4K is probably good enough for today. I think. I'm thinking, do I want to work at 8K and take it down to 4K? I think maybe I'll try that again. Export that, open up output directory. There we go. Let's cut that and move it over into my working folder. Which is projects, fantasy, Arden, and I'll just put it over here in the whip folder. I'll use this for making the displacement. This will be one of the parts I use for the displacement map. And actually, that reminds me. Since I've got Blender open, I might as well save the texture template at this point. So here we'll do this and export UV layout. Yeah, let's do AK 8196. And I'm going to come over here. We go up and over and into here. And can I rename you from here? And we'll save that right there. Arden outfit UVs. I was thinking of doing boots with this, but now I'm looking at it. I don't think the boots actually fit with the way this outfit is looking. That and I'm lazy. So that's a win-win. So export. There we go. I got the texture template saved out too. That will come in handy for making a displacement map later. Which I won't. I do my displacement maps separately because I want a fake thickness. And can I do that with, I might be able to do it with Substance, but it's just, my brain just works easier doing it with Photoshop. Anyhow, that's done. Now we're ready to start putting textures on here. I'm thinking I want something brown and leatherish, and then I want something kind of maybe a velvety green. So let's start with a velvet. I like this velvet. I think that's a community asset from the Substance. Although I don't want it to be red. But can I change that? No, I can't. It's I'm not I don't understand Substance Designer enough to get in here and change some of these settings. So instead I'm just going to put a hue HSL filter on here so I can change the color. So we're going to kind of do a green. Kind of like that. I'm going to actually make that a little, this is kind of a foresty. So that'll probably be the base for the green version. And I'm going to drop a linen in here and see what it looks like. Linen, I might as well just spell out linen all the way. Fabric linen. I'm going to tile that up. And we'll turn that on. Did that add anything? That did. Okay, excellent. So maybe let's get some leathers in here. Leather. And I'm going to, do I want this on the, I don't think I want this on the whole outfit. Although maybe what we'll do is we'll put a color, we'll put a black mask on here. Actually, mask with a color selection. I keep forgetting that's there. And then we'll just add in the fabric parts. Missed. I was clicking on it, and yet I still missed. And also I'm going to add a, here, let's put you up here. Nope, let's put you right there. Also, I'm going to limit that with the same thing. We'll put another mask with the color selector. And actually, can I just copy effect and then paste? And then get rid of that. And I want to expand this to also include the bracers, or at least the part of it, that part right there. All right, I'm not happy with that color leather, actually. It's not speaking to me. And that's probably too red. I like that. We'll pull you back here. I don't need you. I'm going to add Celtic designs on these, is what I'm thinking. So I have to make a brush to do that though. And also this, I think I kind of either want it to be beads or chains for these straps here. I don't know if I'll do that in Substance, if I'll do that in Photoshop. I think I'll try to do it in Substance. I think I'll try to make a brush to do that. And then we'll run some stitching through the trims on the fabrics through here, through these edges here. I'll probably put them just on the inside. And there's a trim here. We'll run it on the inside of that as well. Maybe on both sides. That's kind of a wide trim, so maybe I'll put the stitching on both edges of that. This is where the 3D brush is kind of cool, except when it comes to going over really complicated surfaces like that. That's when I really wish it worked in 2D. Because that's such a pain in the ass to pen tool across versus this. So I may not even use the pen tool for the stitching. I may just use the regular brush. The downside is if I don't like what I see, I have to actually just redraw it, which is annoying. I think I'm going to try to build out a Celtic pattern brush though. Let's do that. And I'm going to run that along here. And I think we'll probably run it on the bands. I think we'll do that. Then I'm going to think about how I want to do that. Do I have a chain? What have we got in the way of weird brushes here? Do I have cross laces? That would be too easy, right? Might be stitching. That's just a... So this... I got metal staples. There we go, stitch cross seam. That's actually what I want to use that at the edges of these. I'll have to do that in 3D space. And I think I'll tighten them up a bit. So let's actually kind of play with that. And is there a way? So anyhow, how big are you? There is a seam I want to run right through here. You know what? That's about the right size. Oh, I got to do a couple of things. I don't want the normal maps and the height maps blending through and building up. So we're going to make a little bit of adjustment to those height map. So I'm going to just say normal and say normal and maybe say normal on that one. And then we'll go over to the normal map. And also we'll just say normal and normal and normal. And now I'm not seeing the leather pattern coming through here. Okay. That's actually, is that what I want? I think that's kind of what I want. So I'm going to get rid of this. Redo that. Also, there's a seam in here, so I'm going to bring up the wireframe so I can tell. Is it through here I want to do? Yeah, I'm going to do that. All right, we're going to play with the colors on that, though. Can I use you with the pen tool? I cannot use that with the pen tool. Okay, never mind. Do I get a, I do want a height map. Will it generate a height map? It will. Okay, excellent. I like that. Do I get a color here? Base color. I'm going to make it an obnoxious red. And then I'm going to use the hue saturation lightness filter to change the color of that. That I don't need anymore. Da, da, da. Dum, 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 dum. There we go. Filter. I'm still not done tweaking that, but so shade that a little that way. Probably desaturate it a little bit. That's kind of the color I was looking for. Then I can just kind of tweak the and this way if I change colors I can then adjust the color of these to go with the overall look. And anyhow, can I oh now I just undid my filter. Oh well. And then back to painting. And what are my options? So we're just going to play with these options and see what I like. Twisted thread, loose thread. What I actually want, what are clips? That doesn't look like, actually it does kind of look like clips. That's actually a little bit more what I wanted. I wanted something that looked more like flat leather straps. And I think that might do the trick. And then we have all these other options. Let's take a look at these. Applique. Nope. Nope. I'm probably just going to go with the cross, honestly. Nope. All right. You know what? What's cross diagonal look like? Actually, think I think that might do the trick. My head would explode if I got that for your Adobe suite, though. Yeah. There, I like the way that looks. Now I kind of want to add it to the armbands. I'm probably going to tweak the sizing on those. Oh, you know what? I can probably do it in here. Let's see how this goes. Because I'm in tangent paint mode, if I do that, that should then, yep, it shows up on the other side. These aren't exactly symmetrical, so I'm not going to use symmetry. These thinner ones I'm going to play around with to get those so I can get at least two in there. And actually, can I start off and go past? Nope, it didn't like that. It wasn't falling for that. Can I offset it a little bit? Can I adjust the spacing? I cannot. That's the smallest. I can make the size a little smaller. The clothing you design? Probably not. I don't. Well, maybe in Trump's America. Because while Trump is a creepy dude, he doesn't want you to actually know he's a creepy dude. Did I say that out loud? Damn it. Now the creepy dude police are coming for me. There we go. I like that. Is good. That's the headband. Hopefully that was the back. I'm hoping that these are about the same thickness as the headband, so that should work. And that should work. And then that, I'm going to put that there. And I'm going to put that there. All right, I've added these little weird cross stitchings. We're going to change the color on those to something else. But for right now, they merely no, Jeff Bezos loves me. I know it's so. He has stuff comes right to my door for me. Um, I'm gonna try to make a brush. Or do I want to do this? Do I want to do my stitchings first? Let's do the stitchings. Let's make another layer here. This is going to be cross stitches. And then we'll make another layer here. Oh, I made two layers. Never mind. Here's stitches. Stitches. Let's put a filter on that. Let's take something like this. I'm just going to tediously work on these through here. Do I want to put cross stitching on all of this? I know I do want to run it along here. I need to see what this color is. Let's drop a fill and let's put a little selection. Oh, there we go. Now I can see it. Okay. That just shows me where that trim is. And I want to put stitching on the insides of that. And then I want to put a Celtic pattern in here as well. So I'm going to put my stitches above this fill layer here. And we're going to just tweak this until I am happy with it. Hopefully don't take too long. All right, that's way too thick. Also, I want it to be red. And we're going to use the thin thread. And I'm going to make that smaller. And now let's check that out. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. Oh, wait a minute. I don't have my height map turned on. I got to redo that. This is where pens are better. Except I can't really paint a pen along that path because it's too wrinkly. The pen doesn't quite work with that. Probably too close to the edge there. It's 8:08 already. Actually, I think I'm going to run the other one on just on the outside, like that. Hey, Dan, you still there? You doing Halloween music tonight? Is that the plan? Dan's got one of the best Halloween music selections. Totally what I'm going to do. We're going to raid Dr. DK tonight and hope for good Halloween music. Happy Halloween Eve, y'all. All right, moving along. I'm just gonna, what the? All right, we're gonna change our painting mode now. I'm gonna come over here and switch this to be UV because apparently tangent's not quite working for me there. But UV should let me just put that thread right through the middle of that seam. Hmm. You know what? I'm going to do a layer where I'm going to put stitching through the trim on these, but I may not use it. So I'm going to finish up putting trim on here. Then I'm going to duplicate, then I'm going to make another layer and add that. I didn't add my filter, did I? There we go. And that way, I'm not quite decided if I want to put trim on these bands or not, or put, threads on these bands or not. Oh, I do want to put cross threads on these though. I forgot to get those. We'll have to go dig that tool back up again. Damn it. Someday I'll learn how to use that a little bit better. Uh, All right, let's go back and try to add these little crossy things on the armbands. I'm going to come back over here, and can I switch you back to... Actually, I'm going to do these stitches first while I'm in a groove. Did I not? There we go. I'll add the filter onto that I will use at some point. Okay. All right, carrying on. Probably could have just gone straight across. Now I'm at a weird crooked angle. Let's see if I can fix that. It's so easy to do that. What are you? Oh, you're the waistband. I do probably want to put stitching on you anyhow. And I can't quite see what I'm doing. Nice. All right, let's get these. I think I missed on that. There we go, that's better. All right, I think that's all the stuff I want stitched. Now I want to add some little cross stitches that I was using earlier over there. So I'm going to come back to here. No, I'm not. There's there's a layer in here that says cross stitches. I'm going to come back to here, and then I'm going to try to get that tool back up. And I probably have to redo this now, don't I? Yep. So click on the height map, make the color red. We were using clips, and I was using the cross diagonal. Yeah, that's about right. All right, we'll go with that. And then I'll put it over here. Missed. I wasn't in the mesh. So it said, no soup for you. I was out of bounds a little bit there. I'm trying to get it so I'm just inside. That's good. I like that. All right. Do you have anything on you? Nope, you're just a band. Stitches. We'll do that. You, I think I can just get rid of, but I'm just going to back up here and turn you on and off and see if I see anything flickering. Nope. I see that. That's good. So you I don't need. Let's group all of these together. What are you? Oh, you are... That I don't actually need anymore. It served its purpose. Actually, I'm going to use that later. I'll put you back here for now. Let's group the stitchings together into one happy group. Actually, I might put an HL perceptive filter on that so I can change the colors of all of them together. Dum 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 dum. Group layers. There we go. Stitching. Okay. That is good. My red velvet is green. All right, let me try to build my little Celtic trim pattern here. Let's go bring up my Dover clip art. I think I can use 3 in a project. Dover clip art over on the... I have this in 3 locations. I have this in 4 locations. If only I was organized, I would put my backups better. Celtic vectors, there we go. Images. JPEG. Are you the one I was working with earlier today? So what I want is kind of a something like that, but it will... Actually, I want something more like this, but I need a straight version of it. Like that. I think something like this. I'm not going to have it seamlessly tile. We'll just end it there and it'll just, we'll build it in. We'll try that. And I might have to change the sizing to get it to fit into the each space separately. So let's do that. Did I work with you earlier today? That is the one I was working with earlier today. So what I did is I opened that up, I inverted it, I put it on a square. I'm also going to turn this into a height map. We'll do that in Photoshop. And also maybe we'll kind of maybe color it up a little bit. Maybe I'll use this. If I invert it, I can use that as kind of a roughness map. And a metallicity map. I have this. So let's get this over into Photoshop. Can I do open with? Nope. I can do open with from here though. And you're just too large. Stop that. I know organized. How dare I? Open with... I saw something I liked, but I'm going to come back to it. I want something kind of like... I want to put something right in the front. And I think maybe something like that might do the trick. But for most of the trim, I think I'm going to use this. So let me finish playing with this. Open with Photoshop. I may have picked up one or two Dover products over the years. All right, first things first, Control I. We're going to save this. This is the save as a copy. So this is square invert. We'll do that. And maybe not with a question mark there. Okay, I'm going to put that back. Okay, it's going to say okay to that. I'm going to dupe this layer. Here, we'll get Photoshop so that it's not blocking anything. All right, I'm going to control, actually, I can do this, right? Control Shift I. Want a new layer. I'm going to fill that with white. I don't really need any of these. Control D, and I can just then fill that in with black. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little paisley. You and your paisley. By the way, I'm currently not at home. Got called into work today. Oh no, no stream tonight. Oh dang. Then who am I going to raid? I'm sorry about that. Oh, I guess you're making that money though. So, I'm going to use my inner glow trick. We'll do an early evening stream before the plastic stream. Okay. What time is that? Are you Central or are you Eastern? I can't remember. Learning a lot about radio. Are you working at radio? Is that what I wanted? The inner glow? You're Central. Okay. So early for you is what time? I'm going to forget, but here, actually, I'm going to try not to forget. I'm going to try to remember special Halloween Bad Tooth Record stream. I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to tweak you. What are you set for? Size is 50. We don't want 50. I'm going to do it like that. And I'm going to use this as a height map. So file, save as a copy. So we're going to just say height right here. 5:30-ish to 8:30-ish. Oh, cool. 6:30-ish to 9:30-ish. I can't spell height. There we go. That's better. I'm going to use that as a height map. And actually, I want to do I want to try to maybe make a second height map that's going to look a little cool. So let's dupe you. Let's hide you. Let's come in here and let's adjust this inner glow to have a more wonky pattern to it. And then we can kind of do that. And that's going to give me an interesting contours. So I think we'll go with that. So this will be height 2. Is that all I need? I'll make a normal map from the height map. I can build my roughness map, my metallic map. I can just add a color to it. Or I could just put a gold. I think this will be good. We'll save this out. File save as a copy. And this will be height 2. Oh, 2. And I'm going to save that. All right, let's build this Celtic path. I've got to move these somewhere where I can use them. These are going to go into my whip folder. Right here. Control B. All right. We're going to import these. And you know what? I'm going to rename all of you because I want you to say Celtic. Celtic. I don't care. Celtic is the way I usually pronounce it unless you're playing basketball. So we're going to replace square with Celtic pattern. And apply that. All right. You I don't need anymore. So over here, we're going to do file, import resources, add resources. In the whip folder, there's those patterns we just made. I thought I had 4 of them. Height 1, height 2, invert. Where's the original? Oh, there's the original. Why are you all the way down there? Because you're sorted by date. Oh, actually, I did that wrong. Let's do this. And I can't put a space in there. Can I do an underscore? You all, I'm just going to call all of you alphies. Import those. Then what I want to do is I want to take a already existing brush. One of the roller brushes, that one right there. We're going to modify you with those Celtic patterns. And I'm going to do color, height, roughness, metallicity, and we'll put a filter on here for normal. Let's do that. How can I always forget how to clear this out. Yeah, because you're all janked now. There's a way. Oh, I remember. I think I remember how to do this. There's a thing in here somewhere, right there, substance. You get rid of that. Yo, Farrell, how are you doing? Scans through crystal. Oh, cool, smart. And t-shirts. Wait, what? You have to have it in their 40s, 50s, but not in their 60s? Uh, I'm unfortunately when you hit your 60s, it's no longer true. I'm sorry. At least that's my personal experience. You're probably smarter than everybody in their 50s. I'm not. I'm not. I think don't tell your son. Shh. It's our secret. I say nothing. If you want one that says 60s, I can do that for you. All right, let's customize this. Where's my Celtics? Celtic. There we go. I was playing with this earlier. You're in my alphas somewhere. You still have the gift certificate. All right, I'll try to remember to do that. Remind me to make a T-shirt that says I'm not living that long, Rod. Where's my red bubble? It's been so long since I did my red bubble. I don't even remember. Uh, can I even log in? Where's my store? Where's my store? My shop. There we go. Your age stops at 65. That's it. 49. Was it 39? I forget. Jack Benny was only 39 when he died. Of course, I think he was 39 for decades, but all right. Here's the Redbubble store. Let me see if I can remember what this is. Was it on a shirt? I don't even remember. Oh, there it is. 60s. Officially smarter than people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. There we go. We'll update that. But you will never be smarter than a teenager. That's right. Your daughter says she's only 29. Problem is she looks it. That's not fair. Is that 45? Oh, that's the pullover. All right. I'll try to remember to set one of these up. I have to go find my files. It's been years. Okay, what are we going to do here? We're doing stuff over here. I'm going to make you gold. Your kids aren't teens, so you don't have to worry about them. Yeah. Okay, we're making progress. We're going to set you to do UV. We're going to swap this out for I think this one here. So what we do is we'll come down here to this do I swap you out? No, it's somewhere. I think that was it. Okay, I gotta rotate you 90 degrees. I'm gonna make you smaller. I'm gonna put that. We'll adjust the spacing. Why are you not bending nicely? It's because I got the wrong thing replaced. I'm updating the wrong brush now. Oh, Jiminy Cricket. There we go. I want to take. I want to take this and I want to put it into there. And now we have to tweak the spacing. We have to set it to be UV. But when I do that, is that when it goes to poop? Nope, that's fine. That's pretty close. I need to make it smaller because we're going to run it along in here. You're going to start sending alerts. They didn't show up twice. Really? That's too thick. I know sometimes I forget, but I've been trying to be a little better at publishing them. I don't know. I need a bot that handles that for me, actually. 8. Let's do that. And then how are you? You know what? That might And can I use you with the pen tool? Nope, except the pen tool is really janky. And I'm not done with this, so why am I doing that? Let's undo this. I'm still working on getting the settings for this set up. All right, so we have my mask. I have a color. I need a height map. I think I can just use. I want to try. This is not my height map. Is that going to work? There's the height map. There's the pattern I want to use. I'm going to try that. I like that. I like that. Let's tweak the roughness. Let's maybe add a little bit of metallicity in there. I don't need those. And I'm going to add a filter on here for the normal map. Add a filter. And we'll convert the height to a normal map. Height to normal. There we go. And now I'm going to erase the very beginning of that. And we'll just zoom up a little bit. And I'll just try to run you through like this. I should go in a little closer. It makes it a little easier to do. I wish I could use the pen tool and have this be a dynamic. Because my big problem is how close am I to the end? You know what? I probably am going to leave it like that. Let's take a look. Let's go take a look over here. So that's going to add that pattern through the edge there. I like that. You would have said something earlier, but you forgot the stream and the daughter was over to watch movie. Okay, sun is on the way down. Catch you. Hey, good to see you. Take care. Okay, I like that. I need to save this brush somehow. How does that work again? I don't remember. Save searches. Undock, close. There we go. Create brush preset. New brush preset right there. Rename. Where's my rename? Is that it right there? I can rename this right here. Okay. CCOX Celtic 2. Close that. So I think that's good. I want to use this. I want to use it along here. This one I'm going to tweak the sizing so that it runs nice and ends here and here. And then what I want to do is I do want to put like a patterny thing in here. And also I want to use this. I want to use this little Celtic pattern maybe on the armbands too. So we'll make it really small. And we'll do up the armbands with it as well. So this, I can kind of run it like this. And then what I'll do is I'll just adjust the size till it's close. Okay, so that's too small. So we're going to make that bigger. and bigger by almost twice the size, it looks like. 16. Can I get a little bit more room in here and keep streaming? Oh, why do you say 168? I typed 16. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. So we're going to try to get it to end right there. So let's try maybe 18. It'll start there and there. And we bled over just a little bit, but we can tweak that a hair. So I like that. What I can do is I can add in a white mask and then just paint that out. Also, there was a little bugaboo, but I don't really, you don't really notice it on the skirt, but right here you're going to kind of notice it. So I think for that, we're just going to add a white mask. I'm going to add a paint layer on that. And is my paint layer white or black? It is black. So that way I can just kind of erase out that by putting a mask on it. And that looks good. I like that. All right, let's make another paint layer in here. And what I want to do is kind of run this pattern along these bands. This is about the right size maybe for this one. Only my tiling is a little off. I think we'll tweak the sizing on that. I think I'll make that a little bit smaller so that we can kind of get it to, you know what? I'm just going to not do that. I'm just going to let it do what it's going to do. And then I'm just going to kind of erase the very ends off. And I'm not going to worry about it matching up because it's going over a seam. So that's my excuse. It's a little headband. That I need to make a lot smaller. We'll do these ones next. So we'll make you, what, 14 maybe? And run you from here to here. I need that to be smaller. Let's try 12. I like that. All right, let's put this couple in here. That needs to be even smaller still, maybe 8. Maybe not. Yep, smaller than 8. I'm thinking even 6 is going to be too large, but we'll try it. We'll see what 4 looks like. I think that does it. By Jove. And the headband, we'll use the same size for that. I can make that a little larger, I think. Let's try 5. Let's see if I can actually shove 6 in here. Probably okay. All right, I want to put a pattern in here. I'm going to kind of build that as a simple stamp, but we'll kind of do the same thing we did with this one. I still want to put some sort of chains in here, and I still got to make a brush for that. Did I not change the color of my stitching layers? I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. You don't seem to be... Is it just because I've got these? Nope. That is just weird. What are you? Oh, you're only changing. You're not changing the color map. You wanted. I want to just change the color map. I don't want to change those. You silly goose. I think that's kind of what I want. Somewhere in there. All right, I need to put something in here. And we're getting close to 9. I think I'm going to do this. We'll save it out real quick. Maybe call it. I might run a little late, so we'll get this all out real quick and onto. So what do I want to put in here? Let's go take a look at our patterns. Something like that might be cool. Yep, there we go. That's it. You're the wiener. Let's open you with Photoshop. Let's make you square. Image canvas size. 30, 40, 30, 48. And then I'm going to just size that down. Image size. We'll just make that 20, 48 squared. All right, let's save you. File, export. Actually, I'll just do file save as a copy. And just going to be Celtic square. Okay, Control I. File, save as a copy, Celtic square, inverse. Okay, let's set up our height maps. Dun, dun, dun. Layer from background. New layer. Fill is good. I need a new layer above this one now. D. Fill is good. All right. I'll do an inner glow on that. I'll call you height 2, and I think I'm just going to use this. I'm not going to work with the. Oh, actually, let's get the other one done too. Or I will probably regret it if I don't do it now. File, save as a copy. Height 2. And then I'm going to tweak this inner glow settings. We'll put you back to that. And then I'm just going to dial you back a little bit like so. And we'll just save that as a copy. Call you height. Okay. Over in here, I'm just going to build I think a stamp with this. Let's just come, I'll start with a basic card. I'm going to lose that. And let's import resources. Add resource. Oh, you know what? I should copy and paste those from here over into my whip folder. And then in here, I'm going to do date modified. Grab those. I forgot. I have to select all these at once, and I keep forgetting to do that. Yay! You all are alphas. Import. Yay! All right. Where's my alpha? There's my alpha. So for the alpha, we're going to use you. We're going to set you to UV. We're going to use color, height, roughness, and metal. Color is good. Height, for height, I'm going to use height 2. And these others are probably good. And then we're just going to size that up. And how did we save this again? I've already forgotten. Do I just click in here somewhere and say, there we go, create brush preset? Celtic, I think CC Cox Celtic. Stamp. Oh, 01. I'll just do that. And I'm just going to put that right in there on the front. Boop. Okie dokie. Let's see how this looks. Let's export it out. Let's hit save. Let's try that. Then Control Shift E. I'm not using any opacity in here yet. I will later, but for right now, I'm just going to do a quick 5-channel. Save. Export. Oh no, I'm saving it at 8K. I don't remember clicking 8K. It's done. Control X. Let's run over into here real quick. See how this is looking. I'm going to switch back to texture shaded. We'll run back over to the folder, runtime, textures, me, project. Let's call, nope, you need to be renamed. Paste those into here. Do that. All right, let's head over here. Let me just dump the generic shader on here. And then let's drag and drop these in. Color. Metallic. Roughness. Height map. And a normal map. Let's take a quick render and we'll call it a day. Oh, look at that. It's not even 9. Fingers crossed that this looks awesome. I've got some weird shadows on this. I got a lot of tweaking to do. But let's see how we're looking. It's a start. I wonder if it actually looks that blurry when I get close. Gosh, I hope not. Thanks, Rod. I appreciate that. Um, you know my yeah, I'm heading. I think I'm heading in the right direction with this. I'm gonna adjust that panty a little bit, I think. So anyhow, I'm just gonna back up and we'll just do a little further out render like that, and we'll call it a day. Let's see who's on. Thank you all for being here. Is it Thursday already? All right, so we'll be back Saturday, November 1st. Um, we'll have to put the Halloween decorations going or away and just get ready for Thanksgiving in just a few more Thursdays. Lund, good to see you. Um, so let's see if so we know Dan isn't on, unfortunately. So let's see if we can find somebody. Yes, next stream Saturday 1 p.m. and then 8 p.m. for the Saturday night social. It's an art share. It's a Discord chat. It's an old cartoon. Dum 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 dum. Who's on in the Twitch tonight? Let's put that over there. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of my Twitch list. Hey, if anybody is still on YouTube, thank you. I appreciate that. Like and subscribe. And if you're on Twitch, you get to join the raid, or you can join the raid if you want to. That would be cool. And I am scrolling to the bottom. I think this might be a night where we just raid a Rumikin, but I'm going to see if any of the art friends are on, and we'll go from there. Scrolling up, scrolling up, scrolling up, scrolling up, scrolling up. Um, scrolling up, scrolling up, scrolling up, scrolling up, scrolling up. Meeksie's on. Let's go say hi to Meeksie. She's doing art. There we go. Um, Jessica Meeks, aka Meeksie, is a witchy woman arting stream. So there we go. We'll go over and say hi to Meeksie. Hey, I sell stuff at Daz. Feel free to buy. Hey, I have a Discord. Feel free to join. If you put stuff in the gallery, we will share it Saturday, 8 p.m. on the Saturday Night Social, Eastern Time. Art share, Discord chat, and an old cartoon. We don't have to watch scary cartoons anymore, so we'll be transitioning. I'm going to see if I can find. There's not a lot of Thanksgiving cartoons. I know there's the one with the turkeys, uh, but I might save that for the week before Thanksgiving. So that's kind of the plan. Anywho, let's do this raid thing. We have raid calls. If you can join the raid, that would be awesome. If you're not a sub, feel free to copy that. I can hear myself in the background now. I think. Or I can hear Meeksy, I don't know. Or myself and Meeksy. Anyhow, if you are a sub, you can use this raid call. Do that. Alrighty. I hope you all have a good rest of a Thursday or Friday for those of you on the happy side of the planet. Actually, let's start the raid. Raid. I better copy and paste because there's too many letters in Meeksy's name. Control V. There we go. All right. Anyhow, thank you all for being here. Yeah, hasta la vista, baby.